Hi there, I'm Budda and you're watching Dr. Guitar, a show for all you guitarists out there. In today's episode, I'm here to give you a tip on how guitar lessons are important. Are guitar lessons fundamental, critical for your development? I would love to hear your comments about it. But first, let me thank my dear patrons for supporting the show. If you want to become a patron, just go to the Patreon link and follow the steps. Super easy. You can also support the show by donating to the tip jar on PayPal. If you're interested in having guitar lessons with me, just send me an email or a direct message on Facebook or Instagram and we'll deal with it from there. Please, if you like the show, don't forget to subscribe and leave your thumbs up. It's super critical for YouTube to suggest the video to other people, and it's critical for the growth of the channel. So please help me on that. Let's go. Are guitar lessons essential to your learning, to your development as a guitar player? I think it's a yes and a no. Well, guitar lessons can make it easier to learn your instrument. I know they cost money. I know they're not for free, but guitar lessons can put you in the right path to learn faster and better and become a better musician, because you're learning from the experience of a more experienced musician. So you're getting all the information from a guy that tested it before you. So he learned it, he cut his teeth doing music, and you're learning from his experience, which is a great thing. But having guitar lessons won't make you a better guitar player if you don't practice, if you don't do what your teacher or what you want to do. So the advice I would give you is for you to find a teacher that suits your needs and that speaks the language and plays the language you want to play. So if you want to get great at funk playing, don't go with a classical trained musician that never played funk in his life. You won't get good advice from him, and it's not his fault. It's your fault for not picking the right teacher. If you want to develop your blues playing, go to a teacher that plays blues, that knows things about the blues. If you want to learn heavy metal and fast licks, don't come to me. I'm not the guy. And it's not my fault that you are not getting what you want from me, because I can't help you on that, because I don't master that technique. Where a guy like me can help you is to develop your own things in an environment and a language that I am experienced. And I'm experienced in a lot of different areas. I know a few things about jazz, but I'm not a jazz expert. I'm not a heavy metal expert. I know a few things. I know a lot of Metallica songs, Pantera, Cradle of Filth, Sepultura. I played a lot of metal when I was younger, but I didn't craft that path. I didn't explore that path to exhaustion. I cut my teeth on songwriting, on pop music, but mainly on blues and blues-derived genres like rock, blues rock, hard rock, blues, of course, soul, funk, R&B, the old R&B, not Rihanna's R&B. That is not music to me. I'm sorry. So if you want to learn all the Adele's songwriting and all of Rihanna's songs, you shouldn't come to me. You shouldn't, because I can't help you. I hate those songs. I don't really like those songs. So even if I want to help you, which I don't, because it's too boring for me, I won't be able to, because I don't master that thing. I prefer music. It's my thing. I can help you if you want to learn more about songwriting, if you want to know more about musical theory, if you want to know more about the blues, about playing blues, about pentatonic, about blues rock, about British rock, about rock in itself, like Zeppelin-esque or Hendrix. That's my thing. Funk like James Brown or Red Hot Chili Peppers, or some rock and grunge like Pearl Jam and Alice in Chains, Soundgarden. That's the thing I grew up. Nirvana was the band that really started all to me, that made me want to become a musician. So do I think guitar lessons are critical or fundamental or essential to a guitar player's development? I don't think they are essential. You can do it on your own. It's just a lot harder, a lot more difficult, and it's not for everyone. I usually tell my students who ask me like, why do I need to learn music theory if the guys I like, B.B. King, Muddy Waters, John Lee Hooker, Jimi Hendrix, didn't know a thing about music theory? Well, mainly the answer is because you're not Jimi Hendrix, B.B. King, Muddy Waters, John Lee Hooker. Those are the few fortunate that could make a difference without having enough knowledge or enough academic knowledge. And they were so genius that they did it despite they didn't know that things. They didn't call the proper names to chords. They didn't know a thing about harmony or songwriting, but they had it. They had it within them, and that's really hard to be one of those guys. So, considering we're just normal people, it's way easier if you understand the rules of the game, if you know how to make music. How did your idols made music? It's basically how scientists and how all artists learn their craft, by copying their idols, copying the greats, learning from the greats, studying the greats' work, and learning what they did, trying to figure out, trying to reverse engineering what they did back then, or today if your idols are contemporary. Then, by studying them, you learn what you like in their music, what you like in their approach. That's super important. It's not meant to be like, how can I copy them and sound exactly like them? You won't ever sound like them. Although I really love Jimi Hendrix, I won't ever sound like Jimi Hendrix. I won't ever sound like Jimmy Page. And accepting that is a huge step forward. You will always sound like yourself, and that's a curse and a blessing at the same time. So a guitar teacher can help you to develop, well, a good guitar teacher can help you to develop your own personality. That's what I usually do better. That's what I always do with my students. I try to develop your personality, your musical personality. I don't try to impose myself in your influences. I try to show you different perspectives, different concepts, and what the guys you say you like did, and what the guys you say you like wanted to do. For example, the Beatles wanted to sound like Little Richard. Did they sound like Little Richard? No, they really failed on doing that. The Rolling Stones wanted to sound like Howlin' Wolf and Muddy Waters. Did they sound like Muddy Waters? They failed. Did they fail artistically? I don't think so. They just created something new, something else. And by trying to achieve and trying to copy their idols, they created something beautifully new, which is super great. But you have to be open to hear your own voice and to find your own voice. And I think that's where guitar lessons, well, I'm saying guitar lessons because I'm a guitar teacher, and you're probably a guitarist if you're watching the show. But it's transversal to everything, like to singing lessons or drum lessons, combo lessons, whatever instrument you're playing. It's all the same thing. It applies to the same thing. You just have to find a teacher that suits your needs and that really helps you to improve your playing and your musicianship. A teacher that has no ego and doesn't want to show off, like, look at me, I play so much, you will never get to this level. That's not my teaching approach. My teaching approach is like, look at this, you can do this. It's really great, and it's not as complicated as it seems. It's really easy and really simple. You just have to put some effort in it. American people have a saying that I only hear American people say it, but I totally agree with it. You have to put your 10,000 hours into something in order to become a good something. So if you want to become a good or a great guitar player, you have to put 10,000 hours into guitar playing. You have to really practice. Those 10,000 hours might last you 10 years or 10 months. It depends on how much you practice, but you need to put time into the craft. So a guitar teacher can really orient your studying, your guitar studying. Can really tell you, you're not doing this right, please correct that and that. And just by saying that, you immediately get aware of your mistakes and like, oh, I've never thought about it. Great tip. And now you're in the next level. And that's where guitar teaching is really crucial. But you are the one that has to do the effort. It's all up to you. It's all up to the player, never to anybody else. If you play in a great band, you're fortunate to play with great musicians, and they will force you to become better because you need to keep up with them. But if you don't keep up with them, you're out of the band. Probably and most certainly you will be out of the band because they will not want to play with you if you are not at that level, or they will split and make another band. But if you make the effort to play greatly, you will be in the band, you will get better every day. So having guitar lessons is a great thing if you take advantage of the guitar lessons properly. Well, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to the channel and leave the thumbs up. It really helps. Also, if you want to support it even more, you can become a patron. Just go to the Patreon link, or you can leave your tip in a tip jar on PayPal. If you're interested in guitar lessons with me, just send me an email or a direct message via Instagram or Facebook. But look up for your preferred guitar teacher. There's a lot of people in the internet that are offering online lessons, private lessons, so via Skype or Zoom or whatever. Facebook even does the same thing. Search for a teacher that you want to learn from. Let me know in the comments what you think about this and if this was helpful to you. Thank you so much, and we'll see each other next week. Bye-bye.